A game that I wasn't expecting to really dive into today. The Denver Nuggets and the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets were kind of killing the Nuggets for most of this game before Nikola Jokic forced this one into overtime, and they held on with the victory. Jokic was unbelievable. Yes, those numbers are real. 29 points, 18 rebounds, and 16 assists in a 144 to 139 victory for the Denver Nuggets. Yes, they were able to hold on to the win. And this was a crazy game to start here. Well, of course, this is the second night of a back-to-back for Denver, narrowly beating Toronto on Sunday night, also in overtime. And to start, Brooklyn was just completely outplaying them. They were getting every single 50-50 ball. They were passing the ball like crazy. In the first quarter alone, I want to say they had 40 points. Yes, the Nets had 40 points in the first quarter, 13 assists on their 16 made field goals, and 0 turnovers. They played a near flawless first quarter against a Denver team that's coming in, trying to get a rhythm here. I'm sure that they cannot be happy that on a back-to-back with the Raptors and Nets that they both went to overtime. I'm sure they can't be that happy with that. But Dennis Schroeder did an amazing job for the Nets at controlling the game. 28 points, 14 assists. Cam Johnson was hitting his threes. Cam Thomas wasn't really efficient in this game, but hit some clutch shot to Nick Claxton, who of course is known around the league, but coming off the bench in this game, they had him come off the bench for Noah Clowney. Interesting move there by Jordy Fernandez. But Zaire Williams with 18 off the bench. You see the offensive number, 7 for 8 from the field, 4 for 5 from 3. But defensively, he looked amazing as well. He was just really playing well out there. And he's a guy, former lottery pick, kind of bolted to the end of the Grizzlies rotation there with all the talent that they had there after his rookie season where he did play a lot. And Brooklyn, he's just getting a chance to, show what he can do out there. And it's good to see. I mean, Brooklyn, that's an opportunity for a lot of those players to kind of show their abilities, out on the floor. In the fourth quarter, though, the Nuggets did end up coming back here the rest of the game because Jokic, again, was unbelievable. But his other guys started to play better, at least on the offensive end. Michael Porter, 6 for 11, 4 of 7 from 3 for 16 points, took the right shots. I thought the first couple games he was forcing a lot of tough, bad, difficult shots that weren't going down. Thought he played a very good game last night. Aaron Gordon, another good game, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 8 of 11 from the field. Jamal Murray, 24 points, took 19 shots. Still wish that he would shoot a little bit more. And we finally had a good Russell Westbrook game. He had a good impact off the bench here, which was something that was desperately needed from a brutal Nuggets bench lineup so far throughout the season. But Westbrook in 20 minutes had 22 points, 5 assists, 10 for 10 from the free throw line, 2 for 2 from 3. Still struggling to finish inside, which is definitely worrisome. But if Westbrook can start to be a little bit more consistent with the jump shot, then that would definitely help the Nuggets out. I know it's obvious, it's been like that his entire career. But yeah, Denver having 4 20-point scores, definitely huge. But they're going to have to figure some things out on the defensive end. They're definitely going to have to figure some things out on the defensive end and making sure that they can, not have to play from behind in these games. Because even like to start the game when Jokic was out there, the Nets started out on fire and they were down 7 points when Jokic came out. And then the lead went up to 15, 16 points in the first half. Want to find the biggest 17-point lead. Yeah, the Nets had a 17-point lead in the first half of this game before the Nuggets finally kicked it into gear when Jokic checked back into the game. So overall, though, another good win it's a decent victory for Denver. I'm sure that these two wins are wins that they would kind of want to forget about here, but wins are still wins. It's better to get the wins than to lose the games because we'd all be clowning them if they were 0-4. 2-2 is not ideal, especially with the wins that they've gotten so far. But I mean, they'll have some time to figure it out still. The fact that their starters played a lot better is definitely encouraging because I've been very critical of the Nuggets so far to start this season. You've heard it on the recaps, you've heard it on the podcast. But I've been critical because of the bench and the lack of 3-point shooting on this team besides Porter and Murray. But the bottom line for this team is if this Nuggets starting five, which on paper you're just replacing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope with Christian Brown, who has been good. At least the numbers say he's been good. When I've watched, he's been good as well. I've watched a lot of the Nuggets so far this season. And this is a very good five-man unit. This is a championship five-man unit just 2 seasons ago, and only replacing your weakest link in the lineup with a player who's still solid, who's playing solid so far. If that starting five can play to the caliber that they were last year or 2 years ago, then this team is going to be fine. This team is going to be fine. The thing is, though, those starters have not played to anywhere close to that level so far this season. This Brooklyn game could potentially jumpstart that for that team. But I'll tell you what, the Nuggets were very close to losing on a Dorian Finney-Smith wide open corner three, man. The Nuggets are definitely lucky that Finney-Smith missed the three, missed 5 free throws in the game. If he didn't miss the free throws or made a couple more of them, Nets definitely could have won a close one there. So shout out to the Nets, man. Talked about it on the full podcast. They beat the Bucks on a Saturday or Sunday, and nearly beating the Nuggets as well. They're going to be a team that over the first half of the season, they have the potential to steal some wins from some good teams. Nearly have done it so far. They have their key players have been playing well with Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Dennis Schroeder, Cam Thomas. We'll see if they can deal some of those veterans down the line in the season, because I'm sure their goal is to be at the bottom of the East. That's just how it is for the Brooklyn Nets.